men.
These are the men.
Bobby Santos,
Frank Fleming,
Later Troyer, George Kent,
L.W. Miller,
Charlie Jerzombe,
Bert Myers,
Mike Stefanik,
Richie Evans,
Buck Stevens,
George Brunholzer III,
Jeff Bodine,
Teddy Christopher.
Jerry Cook.
Drivers, I think it's fair to say, are abnormally brave.
These are the men that work 40 hours a week and then another 40 hours a week on their race cars at home.
Live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower.
600 horsepower. Just to win at Bristol is a big deal to anybody, but particularly these guys.
The Ground Pounders.
The Mod Squad.
Mod Squad.
These are fantastic cars.
The NASCAR Whelen Modified Tours.
Watch them off turn number 4.
As we send them on their way.
In the northeast corner of Tennessee sits Thunder Valley, Bristol Dragway, Bristol Motor Speedway. Today, Lightning joins the Thunder on the world's fastest half mile, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tours UNOH Perfect Storm 150 on speed. 84 degrees, beautiful day for racing. In fact, the best day they've had for this race in its brief 3-year history. Welcome to Thunder Valley and one of my favorite events of the year. Can you feel it?
Yes,
Dick
I
Berggren.
can.
Yes, we're modified fans. The Modifieds are NASCAR's oldest and only open-wheel division. And boy, are they exciting and thrilling to watch, whether it's on a 5th mile or the world's fastest half mile.
Yeah, indeed. And drivers have come from 10 different states to participate in tonight's event. The young, Eric Rudolph, age 19, is going to be starting on the front row, representing youth. And then there are the senior drivers, too. Wade Cole, car 33, will start deep in the field. He is 58 years old.
And has been at it ever since his dad owned a race car at Riverside Park back in the late 1940s, early 50s. You stand on pit road at this racetrack, you're in a cathedral of speed, and you look up at all those seats that'll be filled to near capacity Saturday night, and one thing enters your mind and stays there. I want to win here. That's what's on the mind of every driver in this field.
Yeah, it really is. I've been in the garage area since 6:30 this morning when it opened. And just listening to the drivers, to the crew members, the crew chiefs, the girlfriends, the wives, the hangers-on, they are so pumped up because this is Bristol. This is, for many of them, the biggest single race they will run all year long.
Lots of stories throughout this field. Let's join another longtime mod fan, Speed's Bob Dillner.
and Mike Joey, these 13-inch slicks grab around the high banks of Bristol like no other division. On the pole today, in one of the most famous cars in all of modified racing, the Mystic Missile, Bobby Santos III. And Bobby, you finished in the top 5 here last year, but we talked about the lesson learned from 1 year ago. What is it?
I just learned where you got to be on the racetrack. I definitely struggled the first half of the race last year, my first time being here, but definitely learned a lot of stuff and kind of applied it to practice and qualifying today, and I'm pumped for the race today. I think we're going to be really good.
Have you allowed yourself to figure out how big a victory would be here on the Bristol High Banks?
It'd mean a lot. I mean, this is one of those places on TV that you watch since you're a baby. So to win at Bristol, I think to every one of these modified guys will mean the world. But I feel like this is the 4 cars today, and that's what we're going to try to do.
He's a former Copper Classic midget winner out there in Phoenix. Mike?
Well, this field, Dick, is notable for who is in it and for who is not.
Yeah, well, Ryan Newman is in it, and the car he used last year to win this race is here as well. But his team owner and crew chief are not, because at New Hampshire earlier this year, after a win, they were found to have an engine that violated the rules. The engine builder took the responsibility. Nonetheless, some of the key players in Newman's team are absent. Gary Putnam is the guy with the wrenches tonight.
And who's not here is Ted Christopher, the division's 3rd all-time winningest driver. He and his crew chief haven't been getting along. Car owner Eddie Whalen says, I got enough stress in my day job. I don't need it in my hobby as well. He parked the car, but reportedly offered it to Christopher to bring to Bristol on his own, and Ted couldn't get everything put together in time, so he is absent from this field. Bob?
One of the top Southern guys in today's field, Bert Myers. in the dreaded #1 car, but it's been an awful day for Burt Myers. Engine problems in practice #1, engine problems in practice #2, and then you go out to qualify and rear end problems in this car. You got a long way to go to get up front, buddy.
Yeah, Bob, it's definitely not the day we planned on. Like I said, we broke a rocker arm in the first practice, and the guys with Roush Yates came over and got it taken care of. And it's just been one problem after another. I got ready to go out to qualify, and like you said, the rear end was broke. But hey, I think last year we started about last, and at the halfway break we were 11th. So it's going to be fun trying to pass some cars. But I tell you, as a Southern driver, it's really going to be a treat to try to win this race today.
Burt Myers, one to keep an eye on. He'll start shotgun on the field.
And where did he get that replacement rear end? From the pole-winning team of Bob Garbarino and Bobby Santos III. Ready to race? We are. Thunder and lightning in Thunder Valley. The engines roar to life on 34 NASCAR Modifieds. The Whelen Modified Tour and the Whelen Southern Modified Tour represented, competing for one first but for separate point standing awards. And they are ready to race, as you see Matt Hirschman. The 4, Bobby Santos III on the pole, Eric Rudolph, there they sit in the lineup position as the grid rolls across the top of the screen. Defending champ Ryan Newman's in that 77. Ronnie Silk, top of the points in the 6th. Mike Stefanik, multi-time champion in the 16. World's fastest half mile, 150 laps. Variable banking, 26 to 30 degrees in the corners. Straightaways equal length. And a switch to the format in this race. Now, they've had a halftime break previously to make adjustments and change tires. Not tonight.
No, they're going to have to change their tires and add whatever fuel they're going to add on the fly. No doubt it'll be when a caution flag waves.
The pace car for this event is one of the most unique in racing. Students at the University of Northwestern Ohio built it. It's a modified built to run in NASCAR's Whelen All-American Series. And Cody Weisner, student at the school and racer at the local track, is behind the wheel.
And that local track is owned by the university. It's Limaland Speedway, which is now part of the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series. Strange looking thing with all that plastic where you can see right inside, but it is quite a view, and they built that car from the ground up. 2 of the students did.
Post-World War II, modifieds began as coupes, as the fenders got smaller and smaller, and in some areas of the country they became cut downs and eventually super modifieds. But in NASCAR, there was no shortage of 37 Chevrolet bodies or mid-30s Fords to put on what became the 55 to 57 Chevrolet frames underneath most of these cars. At the turn of the 70s, Jack Arute, the promoter at Stafford, Connecticut, wanted to modernize the modifieds. It took him a year to convince NASCAR that his Pinto Revolution was the right way to go. And modifieds began sporting Pinto, Vega, and Gremlin bodies, among others. Chevy introduced the Cavalier. That lent its body to the modifieds, and most of the cars you see today are so liveried. Ready to race. How about time for our speed spotlight, Bob Dillner?
Well, Mike Joy, keep an eye on a second-generation driver in this field. 19-year-old Corey LaJoie. He'll roll off 17th. He's the son of 2-time NASCAR Busch Series champion Randy LaJoie. And this is 911 Motorsports. His boss, the car owner, Glenn Ryerson, actually tried to help people when the Twin Towers went down 10 years ago. Of course, this year marks the 10-year anniversary of that tragedy, and they are hoping for a great run here today. He ran into those buildings, worked side by side with the police department and the fire department to rescue as many people as possible. Corey LaJoie won in his first ever NASCAR modified start. He's hoping to do so in his 3rd here today, Doc.
Well, Eddie Fletke Jr. is going to start way in the back of the pack because he had more than a handful of problems trying to get here. The truck broke down not just once, but twice. That would have been enough for almost anybody to turn around and give up. This guy hasn't won a race since 2008. Why keep going? Well, he did, and he got here, and just before time trials, while they were lowering the car off the jack stands, it fell, damaging the oil tank. Flemke got under it, fixed himself, and he's out there and he is determined. That's a never give up attitude. Attaboy, Eddie Flemke.
Remember 1 year ago when Danny Hemrick from Kannapolis, North Carolina won the Legends Million at Charlotte Motor Speedway on speed. In the Hill Racing Enterprises, number 19, Roger and David Hill have installed Danny Hemrick. He's got a shot at one of NASCAR's Touring Series rides. This is the team for which Corey LaJoie won that race in Atlanta. Let's see how Daniel Hemrick fares tonight. Carrying our speed onboard camera will be Todd Szegedy, former Tour champion. You see that high visibility shield that he snaps down into place. Mike Smeriglio's car. Phil Moran's had a lot of work to do, as has that crew. They had to change engines after qualifying, and they're going to start in the back, Bob.
Yeah, Todd Szegedy qualified 7th for today's race, but Todd said the car just felt flat in the final practice as well as in qualifying, so they decided to change the engine in that machine. They'll go to the rear of the field. It'll be fun to watch for us, for him to come to the front of the field in that number 2 machine. Now, at the same time, another guy we have to watch here tonight is 7-time NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion Mike Stefanik. Mike Stefanik was very slow in both practice sessions. He found out that an alternator wire went bad. He went out for qualifying after replacing that alternator wire, and he didn't realize how fast his car was going to be. He qualified 6th, but Mike Stefanik says he's got a great race car for today. He led 21 laps here last year. He thinks he can win at 53 years old.
And he can. He's won a race this year, trying for yet another championship title. Bobby Santos has chosen the outside of the front row. It is the pole driver's choice of lane. Outside pole must take the other lane, and everyone else must hold the position in which they qualify. So the top groove, is that going to be the fast groove? We're about to find out. 150 laps. Eric Rudolph will start on the inside, a youngster who's really been making a name for himself on this tour over the 2 years. He has been in tour competition. Ford Mustang dives to the pit lane, and we're ready to race in Bristol. Rudolph keeps Santos up high. Bobby hits the button, and he'll be the first one to the green. Here comes Newman around the outside. Charging hard for second, and Ryan Newman in that Dayglow car on the outside wants the lead from Santos, and is going to get it. Dick Santos chose the outside, but he quickly dropped to the bottom, and it cost him the lead.
Yeah, it kind of looks as if he had ought to have run out there for at least a little while longer. This is a graduated bank racetrack. It's flatter on the bottom and more steeply banked on top. And we are watching Ryan Newman take off. And we know this is not the illegal engine that was run in New Hampshire, because NASCAR confiscated that motor, and they still have it.
Newman, one of the nation's top open wheel drivers. Oh, big spin. Zegedy's involved. And in turn number 4, there are 5 more cars in it. Wade Cole gets away. So does the 31 of Austin Pack.
Jamie Tomato is in it. That's the 99 that you're looking at.
1990 champion Burt Myers pulls away.
Gary McDonald just pulled away as well in the 26. He was involved also.
So that just leaves Tomato. Howell, New Jersey, who drops it down to the pit lane and spins around. Let's have a look at what happened here, Dick.
All right, this is in the back of the pack that this occurred. A couple of cars did a dual spin. One of them was Szegedy.
Yeah, he and Pack may have gotten together there. We'll get Todd's view of this from our onboard camera.
Oh yeah, yeah, they did.
Pack came right up into him.
Yeah.
Losing control. And that is what happens when you have to start in the back. Todd Szegedy with a long way to go. 4 laps complete in Bristol. Tonight, the car show with Adam Carolla is all new and must see. Dave Mira schools Matt Farah on rally racing in Seattle, and Adam wreaks havoc at the New York Auto Show. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, special time for the car show on speed. And congrats to Adam Carolla, who won one of the Rolex Cups at Monterey this weekend for a fine drive in his Datsun Vintage Race Roadster.
And if you look very carefully at your screen, you can see Burt Myers on pit road right now. He last week wrapped up his 5th Bowman Gray Speedway Championship, but he surely has had no fun here at all. Engine problems in practice, as Bob Dillner told you, then lost the rear end, and he was clearly involved in that incident up in turn 4. Crew's working on the nose of that car, trying to straighten out the front end, but we're getting ready for a restart as Burt goes down more laps.
Newman elects the outside. Ryan Newman the leader. Bobby Santos, Mike Stefanik, James Savali, Eric Rudolph, Ronnie Silk, McCovey, Matt Hirschman, Rick Goodale. Eric Beers the top 10. Back under green at Bristol. Boy, that outside groove works. Watch the number 6. But Ronnie Silk come up to battle Santos for 3rd. Silk to 3rd. Santos holds 4th. And here comes Old Blue, the number 3 of Matt Hirschman, looking for 4th. Battle for the lead up front.
It's James Savali in the number 71 car. He has probably more laps here than any other driver.
Trouble turn 3. 2 cars in the wall, and Jason Myers spins into it. Ron Uhas Jr., who races weekly at the Waterford Speed Bowl, is in it. Andy Petrie. Yep, ESPN's Andy Petrie, racing for Speedway Children's Charities in the number 5.
Eddie Flemke just driving away.
And the 19 of Danny Hemrick. Oh, look at the way the front wheels are pointed on Petrie's car.
He's all done. He was the first one on the racetrack this morning. He was also the first one in the wall. That is a car that Andy Petrie hand-built, bolt by bolt, metal by metal. And there, 2 of them just got together coming off the corner.
Got hooked by Uhas.
Yep.
From Groton, Connecticut.
And both those cars are badly damaged.
Here's Todd Zega's view. Remember, restarted in the back, and he got around that one. Tough break for Andy Petrie. He will go on the hook on this, the 2nd caution flag of the evening. Friday, Thunder Valley will be rocking as the wildest party in racing revs up in Bristol. Mark Martin and Scott Speed on trackside from Bristol Friday at 11 Eastern on Speed. Let's have a look at the point standings in NASCAR's Whelen Modified Tours. The North Tour, Ron Silk, Rowan Pennick, close. Todd Zegedy trying to repeat. Ted Christopher not here. Bobby Santos 5th coming into Bristol. Now in the Whelen Southern Modified Tour, George Brunholzl III trying to win his 2nd championship. John Smith, L.W. Miller battling for 2nd. Jason Myers, Andy Seiss, the top 5.
Let me tell you how Brunholzl managed to get so far ahead of everybody else. His worst finish all year was a 4th, and he was disappointed in that.
Wow.
That's how you win a championship. Finish every race in the top 5. He's won twice.
Free pass on this caution is Wade Cole from Riverton, Connecticut. Former home of Hitchcock Chair. Now there's Wade's car. His dad, Walt Cole, raced at Riverside Park with 6-cylinder cars all through the 50s, and when Wayne was old enough, he got behind the wheel and started racing. They don't have a lot of assets. They don't have a pit box. They have a small black tool chest and an air bottle and a couple of spare tires. And ignore those big war wagons because they're for the truck race that follows us later tonight. And they don't have a big expensive hauler. This is how they get to the races. Old style still works very, very well. Wade perennially winds up in the top 20 in the Whelen Modified Tour standings at the end of the season.
That is the only old Ram truck on pit road.
But it's a good one.
Get him here.
Hey, Bob.
I'll tell you what, tough break for the 19-year-old kid. The driver, the number 98, Eric Rudolph, started on the outside of the front row, but during the initial laps of this race, he said the engine felt like it was sputtering. They came down pit road, they tried to diagnose the problem. They feel like they might have a bad spark plug wire or two. They've decided to bring that car behind the wall. Now, another car on the racetrack right now who we've documented has had trouble all day long is the number 1 of the defending Southern Whelen Modified Tour champion, Burt Myers, and he actually got some damage in that first incident on the racetrack, and he's got a bent spindle on the right front of that machine right now. Basically, Burt just said to the crew, boys, it just wasn't meant to be for us today.
Tough day for Burt Myers. There's Eric Rudolph in the Al Henke machine. Mohawk Northeast, number 98. Behind the wall and headed for the trailer.
And Todd Zegedy, whose crew had changed the engine, and Zegedy was working on that change as well. The backup engine not functioning properly. He entered this race 3rd in points, Mike. This is really tough to take.
Go a lap down here. And as that change was being made, as you said, Phil Moran and crew working to change the engine. Todd right there under the hood with the wrenches. And Burt Myers changing his own rear end.
In the car.
Changing the car's rear end. Darn it. With help from his team and Bob Garbarino's, who loaned him that rear.
Well, Ryan Newman has picked the outside lane, which has worked for everybody so far on these restarts.
When he won here last year, Newman led only 20 laps. The last 20, he's led 20 of the first 21 tonight.
Last year he saved his tires. This year he's going for it all the way.
Savali 2nd. Silk 3rd. Santos 4th. Hirschman and Stefanik. Beers, Kobe, Goodale, and Pennick. From the aerial view, green flag for the restart, and the rocket takes his modified off turn 2 with the lead. Savali holds 2nd. Santos has finally figured out the high line's the way to go, and he settles in 3rd. Silk and Stefanik for 4th. Savali looking for the lead. Not that time.
I talked to a lot of crews today, and the crew that was most confident that they had the car to win, Savali's crew. They were sure that they had the car to beat tonight.
They call Roger Hill's team Hillbilly Racing. Runs that number 79. Yes, his last name is Hill, and the team is located in Hillbilly Hollow, right near the North Carolina-Virginia line. But there is nothing backwoods about their racing. They are serious about it. They've contended for this championship before. They want to win Bristol more than any place else.
And they run both the North Series and the South Series.
5th place, Mike Stefanik, 16, trying to hold off the advances of Doug Kobe, 2nd generation driver from Milford, Connecticut. Single file, and Dick, I'm a little surprised because everybody's gravitated to the bottom groove at both ends of the racetrack.
Well, pretty much, but I'm watching Ryan Newman, Mike, and if anybody is up, it's him. He is running a little bit higher line in much of the corners than anybody else, but it's not dramatically higher. You're absolutely right.
And you can bet that everybody's spotter is also watching Ryan Newman and relaying his line to their driver.
Oh, yeah.
Lap car ahead for Newman. That's Jamie Tomeno after a stop in the pits. He'll go 1 down as the top 6 shuffle past.
Tomeno has been to every single one of these tour races and driven in almost all of them.
Bob?
Mike, you and Doc are talking about the line on the racetrack that these drivers are using right now. And I talked to a bunch of drivers today, and they said, you know, with the Camping World Truck Series here, they have a different rubber, the Goodyear compound that's being put down. They believe it's going to take until about lap 50 or 60 for the groove to widen out. And if you remember, we saw a whale of a race last year, and that was after the halfway point that groove widened out, and this became a 2 or 3 groove racetrack.
Very good point. NASCAR's National Touring Series run Goodyear tires. Both the Modified Tours run Hoosier tires. Ronnie Silk, he's got his hands full trying to hold off Kobe in the 52.
Yeah, Kobe has absolutely filled Silk's mirror for sure. Silk currently the point leader coming into this race.
Speaking of points, back around 10th place. Rowan Pennick, the 93, Woody Pitkat, the 28, and LaJoy Spinner down inside of turn number 4.
That's Patrick Emmerling, who also spun in practice today. Nobody else involved in it, just Emmerling all by himself. He's between turns 3 and 4 on the flat. You see how banked this racetrack is. Even the apron has got a bank to it.
Boy, it's steep. Bob?
Well, Mike, sometimes when you have a problem at the racetrack, sometimes they keep on snowballing. In trouble for Todd Zegedy. The reason why he came down pit road and you saw that team take the hood off that car, a spark plug wire fell off, but Phil Moran and the team already put it back on. They're back out. Todd Zegedy, A-OK. He's still planning on marching to the front.
34 of 150 laps complete, at least one pit stop in the offing for NASCAR's Modified Tours at Bristol. September 11th, the regular season begins with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Falcons take on the Bears in Chicago. Then the Giants take on the Redskins in D.C., or you'll see regional action with coverage beginning Sunday, September 11th, with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings. The NFL played here.
Yeah, a long time ago.
1961.
Yeah, in the infield.
Yep.
But this stadium has grown some since then, and this is a stadium that is far bigger than any in the NFL.
Take down the scoring pylon and you could play football here again. That was part of the infield makeover.
Gonna have to put some grass down too. They've got it all paved.
Eddie Flemke in the number 10. I walked past his pit, saw the back of his car, did a double take. I thought it said Raybestos Brakes. It does not. It says the Raybestos Brakettes. In a great case of cross promotion, they are the world's greatest women's softball team. And I grew up reading about them in the Hartford Courant because, like Flemke, the Brakettes are headquartered in Southington, Connecticut.
Well, there you go.
Ready for the restart? Newman, Savali once again. Santos and Silk row 2, Stefanik and Kobe. Hirschman and Beers, Goodale and Pennick, the top 10. Corey LaJoie up to 11th, Justin Bonsignor 12th. Brunhosel, Eric Berndt, Andy Seiss, L.W. Miller, Tim Brown, Brian Chu, Frank Fleming, Austin Pack are the top 20. Here we go, green flag. That high groove is coming in as Savali fights back for second on the low side. Stefanik coming up for third in the 16.
Silk working the outside.
Stefanik goes to the bottom. Still hunting third. He may get it. Stefanik takes third from Silk. Eric Beers in the red 45. Working the outside on Santos behind Silk. He moves up, so does the 52 of Doug Kobe. And Santos backpedals to 7th. Rowan Pennick now 8th. Savali looking again at the front spot. Bonsignor 9th and Goodale 10th. Spin, turn 1, crash. 5 cars in it. That's a mess.
And that's Corey LaJoie in the number 71. The 88, Brian Chu, involved in it. Here's Corey LaJoie. He'll be all done. That's the radiator that's leaking its contents all over the racetrack.
And the first car involved, who's that limping down toward turn number 3? Because right about there is
that
where
is
it triggered.
Brunhosel.
Oh boy, that's going to dim his point lead. He came in 130 something ahead in the Southern Tour.
But he's going to be all done tonight.
Red flag the field at turn 3 because there's going to be a lot of cleanup from this one. Oof. Brian Chu. That's a mess. Open wheel cars.
Yeah. Well, not only open wheel cars, but a lot of hard driving because it's Bristol and because you want to win this thing. Yeah, LaJoie just plain lost it. and then back down the racetrack in front of everybody else.
Dick, did he cut a tire or did he lose the car going in the corner? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, Mike.
And hopefully Bobby will be able to find out for us if the replays aren't conclusive.
Looking ahead at Woody Pitkat, who was involved in it. You can see why.
And Todd Szegedy, whoa, thread the needle once, twice, and out of there. Todd's had a busy night.
Well, yeah, he's been running in the back all night. He had to pit again, so here we'll see. Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. He lost the left front tire. Corey LaJoie, number 71.
Oh, it's a hard hit.
Yeah, and that was only his third start ever in these cars. Yeah, that car is badly damaged.
Corey works full-time for his dad at The Joy of Seating in Concord, North Carolina, helping keep racers of all ages in top flight safety equipment.
Particularly seats. His father was right in the forefront of coming up with better seats to help drivers survive bad accidents. And Randy LaJoie, a two-time nationwide series champion, had also been through more than a few bad crashes himself. He called himself his company's crash dummy, in fact.
But not only that, Randy and Corey, all their folks, conduct safety seminars at shows and at tracks around the country, showing short track racers how their racing environment can be safer. Not really a sales pitch, but an education. Randy has taken it on as his mission to convince short track racers that they can improve their own environment. And if it means using one of his seats, well, so much the better. Corey LaJoie got the worst of it as that car slides up and into the safer barrier in turn one. Next Wednesday, Dumbest Stuff on Wheels returns with an all-new episode. The most outrageous and downright stupidest situations and crashes ever caught on tape. Really? Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed. All right, the Myers brothers pitted, along with Doug Coby and Todd Szegedy. So 24 lead lap cars. Hammerling gets the free pass. Newman, Savali on the front row. Newman on the outside once again. Stefanik and Silk, Beers and Santos, Pennick and Bonsignor, Goodale and Burnt are the top 10 as they get ready for the restart. We're just about 1/3 distance as the sun sets in Bristol and the green flag comes out.
Whoa, Savali gets pushed out of position by Mike Stefanik.
Well, Ryan Newman did not bring them down as quickly as he had on the prior restarts. NASCAR had warned him about getting too far out front. The restart pace was slow. Both the second row cars were on the gas.
And we get a crash in the front stretch.
And 5 cars pile up behind the leaders. And one more spins in turn 2.
Yep. Rowan Pennick, number 93, in the middle of that.
I don't see a full moon, Dick, but it sure looks like full moon Saturday night.
This is not at all typical of the first 2 modified races we had here at Bristol. Here's Pennick. He came in second in points with a flat right front tire at this point.
And just ahead of him was the 02 of Tim Brown. Now you see at the front, watch the white number 6, and then the red car gets stacked up. That's the 45, and everybody goes around behind them.
Yeah. A wild night, for sure.
See the 6 get sideways? Then everybody, just like an accordion, back, back, back.
Yep.
First contact sends the 93 of Pennick around, and it's on after that.
Wow, the 3 just missed really getting in trouble. That's Matt Hirschman.
Okay, Todd gets another look at a big one. You heard him, I think, get hit from behind.
Yeah, indeed.
But the back bumpers on these modifieds are I-beams. They're very, very strong. The front bumpers are just made of tubing.
And they're supposed to be, because that lets them bend and saves the chassis so they can continue to race. Pennick continues to ride around the speedway with that flat tire. He's on pit road now. Bob?
Honestly, Mike, if you take a look at those replays, that just look too weird to be just everybody spinning on the front stretch. In fact, you look at Bobby Santos, he went into turn 1 and just couldn't control his race car. Well, James Savali, Rowan Pennick, and a bunch of people, there's the 79 of Savali, just came on the radio and said, I have oil all over my windshield, so I wonder if somebody leaking a little bit of oil, and everybody was just slip sliding away there as they came off a 4 and on the front stretch.
So who could it be? Because you're right, the first car to get sideways was Ronnie Silk in that white number 6, and it just all accordion behind him. Now before that, watch Ryan Newman bringing him down really slow here. And you'll see Stefanik in the black 16. He gets to the bumper of Savali. Silk gets to the bumper of Newman. And boy, Savali just got shoved out of the way, accordion style.
Yeah, he just wasn't keeping up. Stefanik had to go.
But remember, Savali couldn't beat the leader to the line. And we'll stay right here and then watch it all unfold.
Yeah, it was even up in front of the cars that spun.
Yeah.
That it started stacking up.
I need a break.
Well, you know, this is that not what we said about Bristol? I mean, these guys are desperately trying to win this thing.
Ryan Newman the leader, Silk in second, as we are under caution again with 51 complete. Coming up next, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Races in prime time on speed at Bristol, baby. Elliott Sadler in a second Joe Dinette truck, number 24. Shares the front row with Nelson Piquet Jr. It's coming up next. Ready for the restart. It'll be 56 laps of 150 complete. Ryan Newman, Ronnie Silk are the front row. Savali and Stefanik, row 2. Bonsignor and Beers, Burnt and Seiss, Miller and Flemke, the top 10. Green flag. Clean restart. Boy, Eric Beers in that red 45's done a nice job fighting himself up to the top 5. He is side by side with Savali. Silk comes up to the high side, 3 wide. The 45 makes it 3 wide. I can't believe it. He's going to be side by side for third.
Beers was fast in practice, Mike. This is no surprise to see him run this well. Santos, meanwhile, had pitted under that caution flag and taken 3 tires. He was the pole winner. He is now running 16th.
Eric Beers is third. What a bold move, way up on the outside. Spinner front straightaway, and Wade Cole is in the wall. Caution. .33 pulls away down into turn 1. And doesn't look like a lot of damage.
No. Of course, that car wasn't perfect when the race started either.
No, and it turned around right in the middle of the front straightaway. Still on the lead lap, 23rd place.
I watched Eddie Flemke drive his father's car, flathead powered at Riverside Park Speedway about 40 years ago.
Here's what we have of it. Loose off 4 and around, no contact.
Easy to do at Bristol.
Yep. And we're at 60 laps of 150. We'll be back for the restart as Wade Cole pits. Ryan Newman, Mike Stefanik, the front-running pair. While we were away, we tried one more restart. It was fine for about 3/4 of a lap, and then this happened. Rowan Pennick is going to try to shoot the middle with John Smith on the outside. Just doesn't have enough room. That contact sheds the right front from Pennick's car and breaks the steering. He limps around to the pit, and that's caution flag number 7. Bob.
Down here, we've caught up with Corey LaJoie, who was in that tough hit earlier on in this race. Looks like you're okay. What caused that wreck?
I think it was a sway bar arm fell off or something like that, because I didn't even lift yet, and it was pointed towards the fence. The next thing I knew, the bumper was sitting on the carburetor. So it's a shame. We were running pretty good, you know, all things considered, running the East car, and then jumping this modified running. I don't know where we were running, but I thought we were going to drive up to the front, and you know, it's one of them things that happens, and hate it.
Tough break for LaJoie, 3rd generation modified driver. John Smith went to pit road as the field lined up for green. Ryan Newman leads him, but here comes Eric Beers in the red 45. He may pose the first threat to Newman today.
Beers is absolutely storming here. The Northampton, Pennsylvania driver Car number 45 running in second spot, right on Newman's bumper.
Stefanik third, Silk in fourth, Kobe up to fifth, Eric Berndt. But the battle is all for the lead. As it is for fourth place, side by side. Silk is going to lose the spot to the 52 of Doug Kobe on the right of your screen. And Todd Szegedy, our onboard camera car, has worked his way back up into the top 10 after having to dodge every wreck we've had tonight. Now he works to the inside of Woody Pitkat in the 28. It's a little loose. Shoves it in on the bottom.
And that view you see with the air cleaner sticking right through the middle of the hood, that is what it is really like behind the wheel of one of these things. That air cleaner gets in your way of seeing where you're trying to go.
And the first time you climb behind the wheel, you say, how am I ever going to see anything?
Yeah.
And by about your third time on track, it's like it's not even there. Szegedy moves up. Past L.W. Miller as well as Pitkat. Drops to the bottom once again. And at second place, Stefanik now looking to show some muscle as he goes after Beers. Bob.
Guys, how about Doug Kobe in that 52 car? He just radioed to his crew and said, I think we have a car that can win this thing. He said, it is phenomenal right now. So Doug Kobe marching his way through the field. Guys, remember this. This is Doug Kobe's first visit to Thunder Valley.
Tough break for our pole sitter. The Mystic Missile of Bobby Santos III. Coast down pit road.
Santos has had a tough year. Started out at Thompson the first race of the year with a blown motor, and things simply have not gotten better since. There he sits on pit road.
Second place, Beers and Stefanik.
It's an interesting battle. Here's Beers that has only won a couple of times in this series, with Stefanik in the 16, who has won 71 times and 7 championships.
Mike Stefanik also had a couple of seasons in what was then the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. A little Bristol experience. Bob, what's up with the missile?
Bobby Santos very emotional on the radio. He wanted this one here at Bristol pretty bad. They asked him, did it just tighten up? He goes, no, it didn't tighten up at all. The engine just started slowing up. And that's the problem for the Ford, the Mystic Missile.
Well, watch for him on speed in September at New Hampshire with a Richie Evans tribute paint scheme, as Evans has been elected to NASCAR's Hall of Fame. James Savali in that 79 has been getting impatient, and he's been wearing out the front bumper on that car, the chrome horn, they call it in modified parlance. He pulls up alongside the 58 of Eric Goodale. Let's see if he can get a little further.
Stavali had pitted just a few laps ago on that caution flag, and they fired fresh tires on it, so he has an advantage over a lot of the people who are around him.
Alongside the 02 of Tim Brown. Brown is the 11th place car, racing out of Cana, Virginia.
Boy, it's busy down there.
That's a hornet's nest.
Yep. That looks like trouble on the way to happening.
That's Eric Berndt, 46 up on the outside. Now Wade Cole is a lap car, and around goes the 07 into the wall front straightaway.
All by himself, fortunately. Several other drivers had a shot at Emmerling.
Emmerling, when that pack went past him, he had a little trouble keeping the car down on the bottom of the racetrack as the cars on the lead lap were going by, and he spins it off turn number 4. And probably at 85 laps, this caution is a good thing to break up what had been a really pitched battle from about 8th place on back.
And one wonders what Ryan Newman's pitting strategy is going to be.
Maybe about to find out. Here's what brings out the 8th caution of the evening. Contact. Emmerling got up and into that black car.
Yeah. Well, you can't really get off the concrete very far here. When you do, the banking does flatten out a little bit, but he also had some help from behind. Boom. So much of this stuff has happened right in front of the flag stand. You know, it's nice for the flagmen to see that stuff.
Leaders pitting. Ryan Newman, Eric Beers, and Mike Stefanik will come to pit road. So will Ronnie Silk, Doug Kobe. Most of the lead lap cars will take this opportunity to pit at lap 86, Bob.
Ryan Newman pulls his modified into his pit stall. Gary Putnam, the crew chief on this machine, the car chief for Jamie McMurray and all his boys on the one team pitting this car. It'll be a 4-tire stop for Ryan Newman. Ryan basically saying the car is pretty darn good, just needs to loosen it on exit off the corner here because it's a little bit tight, but Ryan Newman looking pretty good. A 4-tire stop for the 77 car.
Now on yellow, everybody has to enter off turn 2, just as they do in the Sprint Cup Series. So many of the other cars are now just reaching their pits on the front side of the racetrack. But Newman is going to have to go all the way around and exit out of turn 1. So everybody has the same distance to travel under caution.
Dick, if I understand correctly, you are allowed to add fuel and tires, but not on the same stop?
You got it.
So if they want fuel, they'll have to come back around and back in.
Yep.
Eric Beers on the right, your second place car, the John Blewett Inc., number 45. And Newman first off the pit lane ahead of Stefanik, then Beers, and then Jason Myers. Todd Szegedy elected not to pit under this caution. He'll be our leader when we go back to green. Next Wednesday on Speed, My Ride Rules. All new episode. 4 new car fanatics face off in a wild competition. 9 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday, only on Speed. 90 laps complete. Todd Szegedy, L.W. Miller, and Tim Brown did not pit. They are the leaders. James Savali was in the pits earlier. He's 4th. Eric Goodale 5th. Andy Seiss 6th. Bonsignori. Then the cars that just pitted, beginning with Newman in 8th, Stefanik 9th, Beers in 10th. Burnt, Kobe, Silk, Flemke, and Emmerling are the top 15. The rest of the lead lap cars: Jason Myers, Woody Pitkat, Matt Hirschman, and Frank Fleming. 19 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else 1 or more down as we get set to go green with 91 complete. Todd Szegedy, the new leader. And he jumps out from L.W. Miller with Savali in 2nd and a log jam at 3rd. 3 wide into the corner.
Oh!
They made it work, and here comes Newman.
On the outside in that yellow car.
Yes, it is the same car that he had at New Hampshire. Not the same engine, not the same car owner. Same Ryan Newman.
Not the same crew chief either.
No, it's true. Headed for the front and up front. It's James Savali working over the back of Todd Szegedy. Dive into the inside, and Savali takes the lead for the Hillbilly team as Newman moves to 3rd. Ryan Newman restarted 7th, up for 3rd. Slowing on the backstretch, Doug Kobe heads for pit road. So now 18 cars on the lead lap as we're coming up on 2/3 distance. 11th and 12th place battle.
Teddy Flemke on the bottom in that number 10, going by the 73 of L.W. Miller.
Trying to get that silver car of Eric Burnt.
Yeah.
Now, moments ago in the back straightaway, Justin Bonsignor didn't get off the corner well.
Whoa!
Well at all. And that's because the 2 cars in front of him slowed up. He almost got into the back of Tim Brown to turn Tim around. Everybody got away okay after a bit of contact.
This has been a wild, wild night. This is more of what we expect from the modifieds. The pushing, the shoving, not the wrecking, but the pushing and shoving is definitely part of this deal.
Well, Bonsignor in the 51 has gotten past Goodale and Tim Brown. And that is 6th, 7th, and 8th place right there. The 3 moves aside, and Matt Hirschman goes down a lap. His dad, Tony, a former champion of this series.
twice. In fact, for the same team, driving for the Bowler team.
And Newman is closing on these two leaders. There's Ryan in the 77, Bob.
Well, for all his troubles, the two of Tom Szegedy feels like they're in a very good place right now. They've pitted numerous times as he tries to duck underneath James Savali, but they're good to go for the rest of the distance, as is the leader of this race, James Savali, right now. They took 3 tires on a caution period just a short time ago. Both of those drivers feel they'll go the distance and challenge for this win.
Yep. But here comes Newman on the outside in that 77.
So Szegedy looks low for the lead, and they come off 3 cars under a blanket off turn 4. Wow.
And in case anybody was wondering about Ryan Newman's speed and whether it was attributable to that engine, here's proof. This is a great team, a great car, and a terrific driver in this series. Oh boy, more.
Front straightaway, and pow, Tim Brown is in it against the pit wall. 1 on the outside, 1 on the inside. A 3-car pileup.
Stefanik in it.
Oh, Mike Stefanik.
That's the end of his night.
Got into the inside retaining wall down at the entrance of turn number 1. And the other car involved appears to be Eric Goodale. That's Tim Brown. The left rear pretty torn up, and the left front completely wrenched away from that car.
And he's going to take a beating in the points as well. Brown was 6th in points coming into tonight's race.
Now Goodale got into the outside wall, but without a lot of damage. In this, the 9th caution of the day.
Let's see what happened. It's Ronnie Silk in the white number 6 on the bottom. And there it starts.
Goodale in the wall, kapow, kaboom. And then you're a passenger.
Stefanik could hit the wall again. Yep. No steering, no brakes. That's what happens. Extra gas in the exhaust system catches fire on the 58 of Goodale.
They were all fighting for 7th place. 9th caution flag. There's Mike Stefanik, 7-time titleist of the modifieds, plus 2 championships in Busch North. Looking for 1 for the other thumb. There's Goodale into the wall and off the wall. Chain reaction pileup with 44 laps to go. Coming up next, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series setup presented by Polaris, Chris Devoda and the gang at the bottom of the hour. And then the race. Live on Speed, Elliott Sadler, Nelson Piquet, Ron Hornaday, Brendan Gaughan, James Buescher, and this man, Kevin Harvick, outside row number 3. The closer. Truck racing next here on Speed. Meanwhile, 40 laps to go, make it 39 to go in the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150. James Savali, Todd Szegedy, Ryan Newman in the 77, Andy Seiss, Justin Bonsignor, Eric Beers, Ronnie Silk, and Flemke. Emmerling and Fleming are the first 10. There are 16 lead lap cars showing as we get ready to take the green with 38 to go.
Boy, that outside works on a restart. Wow.
Savali over Szegedy. Newman trying to hold 3rd.
Andy Seiss in that 11 car. Runs both the north and the south. He's been running dirt track sprint cars on weekends.
And he may have the measure of Newman.
He told me earlier today that was the best race car he had ever had here. Looking good for Andy Seiss.
Right behind Newman is Bonsignor in the black car, and the red 45 is Eric Beers.
Very busy up front right now.
Well, the herd has thinned quite a bit. A little more than half the cars that started still running, plenty of room to race. And on the left of your screen, Szegedy in the number 2, trying to make the most of Savali, while it's side by side for 3rd behind them, and Newman's going to prevail. And Newman may take Beers in the 45 with him. Nope. Side by side for 4th, and for the lead, here comes Szegedy down on the bottom. That'll slow up he and Savali, and Newman will get closer. 34 to go.
Bottom's not a bad place to be. That's how Newman made his passes to get himself into third spot.
Bonsignor takes fifth. They're back to single file again. No, they're not. Bonsignor for fourth against Andy Seiss in the 11th. And now it's a three-car battle for the lead.
Newman gets out all by himself. He is just so fast.
I think he's going to have a hard time, Dick, getting the lead back.
Well, I think he is too, Mike, and that's in no small part because Szegedy keeps trying to pass Savali. So he's all over the racetrack, making it very difficult for Newman to execute a pass.
Lap traffic staying low and out of the way.
30 to go.
James Savali has 4 career wins on the tour, the last coming at Mansfield, Ohio 4 years ago. Newman to the inside. Zegedy's got to give him some room.
A lot of room.
Todd Szegedy, 2 wins this year. Monadnock, New Hampshire, and Loudon, New Hampshire.
And Monadnock, he really aced it, led every single lap.
Savali trying to make that car 3 lanes wide.
I'm telling you, it's just looking like this thing is going to get 3 wide for the lead at any moment. Savali, the most experienced driver in these cars on this racetrack. No one has more laps here than he does.
If this keeps up, Justin Bonsignor is going to be right there, and it'll be 4 cars under a blanket for the lead.
And these guys are eating their tires up toward the end of the race as well. And the guys who are behind them just sort of cruising all by themselves, picking up speed. Going to have better tires at the end.
25 laps to go. James Savali trying to hold off Szegedy, Newman, and Bonsignor. Long way back to Eric Beers in 5th. Ronnie Silk, Frank Fleming, Seiss, Emmerling, and Flemke, the top 10.
And Szegedy from the very back of the pack, now in the lead.
But with Savali slipping to 4th, now Newman can work it high or low and try for the lead once again. He takes it.
Now let's see what Szegedy can do. Szegedy with a backup engine in his car. Had to start tail end Charlie. Dodged a half-dozen wrecks in this event.
Newman, winner at New Hampshire, disqualified because the engine had illegal intake manifold gaskets that gave his engine more horsepower than was allowable. Car owner, crew chief, tossed out of this division for the season. Ryan Newman stripped of the win, but he is here in this same car, and he's got it right back out front where it usually runs.
And we should point out that the team was not the guilty party. The engine builder took responsibility for those gaskets.
Bob?
Guys, I want you to keep an eye on Justin Bonsignor. I talked to him today. He's a fellow Long Islander, and he wants this one real bad. He felt last year he had one slip away. He finished 6th. He was the pole sitter 1 year ago, but he said, you know what? If a more experienced driver was behind the wheel, they would have won that race. He's got that experience now with 1 win on this season on the Mod Tour, and he's going for it today at Bristol.
He's also the point leader at his home track, Riverhead on Long Island. And that's where that pole-winning car is.
Justin has 17 laps to figure this out. He'll first have to deal with Todd Szegedy to have a chance at Ryan Newman. Savali holds 4th. Beers 5th. Silk, Emmerling, Fleming, and Flemke with Seiss the top 10 now. Goodale and Byrne also on the lead lap, 11th and 12th.
16 to go.
Bonsignor had a look inside Szegedy, who gives him the bottom, preferring to keep his 2 wound up in the high groove.
Newman with a solid lead now. He's all by himself out front. This is the best race.
It's Eric Burt going a lap down the silver car. And Bonsignor has a look low on Szegedy once again, where he's been good getting into the corner, and this time pulls the deuce off the corner and moves into second. 13 laps to go. Can he catch Ryan Newman?
Ronnie Silk in the number 6 is currently riding in 6th position.
What a nice comeback for Emmerling, who spun into the wall earlier. He got a lucky dog, got back on the lead lap, and runs in 7th. Make that 6th. Make that 6th. Wow. Newman's got a little traffic to deal with. You see Burt Myers and the 11th. Burt's not on the lead lap. He is 6 laps back.
Andy Seiss is 9th in that red car, number 11.
He is on the lead lap.
Sure is.
10 to go.
Newman on the left side of your screen, and that yellow number 77 is your leader.
Justin Bonsignor is trying different lines, trying anything to run a quicker lap than Ryan Newman, and he's doing it. Last lap, Dick, he was 0.14 of a second faster. I'm not sure that'll be enough for him to mount a challenge in these last 8 laps.
He's running out of time.
That time by, they were even. As Newman picks up a little speed to hold this lead for 7 more laps. Maybe Tomeno on the inside. Poses no problem. 6 to go.
Tomeno caught speeding earlier in the evening, lost a lap. That was speeding on pit road. It's okay to do it on the racetrack.
Newman trying to win back-to-back Bristol Modified races. He has 2 other career wins, both at Loudon, New Hampshire.
You look at the A post of that car, it's got 4 stickers. 3 of them are for that, and the other is in memory of Tiger Tom Baldwin.
8th career start in the modifieds. Got his 4th career win in his 8th start. This is his 2nd mod win at Bristol. 2010, and now 2.5 to go. And Bonsignor becomes very small in Ryan Newman's rearview mirror. 2 to go.
Newman absolutely in command of this event at this point.
Kevin Mannion, Sprint Cup crew chief, put this team together and was the team owner until the problem at New Hampshire, traced to an error by the engine builder. But Ryan Newman has dusted the field at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Newman wins the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150. Justin Bonsignor 1.8 seconds back in 2nd. Todd Szegedy 3rd. James Savali is 4th, and a great comeback for Orchard Park, New York's Patrick Emmerling to finish 5th. 6 through 10, Beers, Silk, Frank Fleming, Andy Seiss, Eric Goodale.
And a lot of people disappointed tonight with wrecked cars. A lot of carnage early in this event.
Ryan Newman led 7 times for 107 laps in scoring his 4th career modified win. We'll go to Victory Lane and visit with the Rocket when we come back to Bristol Motor Speedway live on Speed. That is Victory Lane at Bristol Motor Speedway, and there sits the modified of Ryan Newman, and standing alongside Bob Dillner.
Ryan Newman about to climb out of the 77 NY in Victory Lane for the 2nd straight year. He's the winner here at Bristol. Come on, let's show a little excitement now. Don't spray me with that Coke there. All right, he sprays himself and myself, but how about this victory, your second straight here at Bristol in the Modifieds?
That's awesome. I mean, first of all, I got to thank Aggressive Hydraulics and Menards for coming on and sponsor us, and you know, the U.S. Army, Tornadoes, Bass Pro Shops, all the other people that helped, you know, with this program. But Kevin Bono Mannion, he couldn't be here today because of what happened back at Loudon. So this one's for him. But Gary and all the guys did an awesome job here. We had to overcome a lot of things, and this is our backup engine. So it's a good day for us. Just really proud of all the guys.
You love running the Modified. So to overcome what happened at Loudon and to pull into victory lane once again, what does that mean to you, Gary Putnam, and everybody here?
Well, that just proves that we can do it. I mean, we, you know, they can take this one back to the R&D center and go through everything they want to. I mean, the guys made a mistake last time, and we accept that. It's been a tough deal going through it, but you know, just we're past it. I mean, this kind of wipes the slate clean.
Ryan Newman, he gets his 4th career NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour victory and his 2nd straight here in Thunder Valley.
A decisive win for Ryan Newman, great run for Justin Bonsignor, and a great come from behind for Todd Szegedy. Coming up next will be the setup presented by Polaris and the O'Reilly 200 for the Camping World Truck Series. But stick around, a little more mods after the break. Coming up next, the setup and then the O'Reilly 200. Camping World Trucks next on speed. Elliott Sadler on the pole with Nelson Piquet Jr. up front. As Ryan Newman and his crew celebrate, let's catch up with Bob.
Todd Szegedy 3rd, Justin Bonsignor from Long Island 2nd. Could you have used a caution there to catch Newman?
It would have been nice to have a chance, but I don't know if we had anything for him. We got the toe knocked in about halfway through that last run, and just made it way too tight into the center. I just couldn't get back to the throttle. He got away from us on the restart. I think if I could have got in front of him and held him off, it would have been a good race, but he just had a better car than us today.
I tell you what, a great run for Bonsignor. Szegedy, you had an eventful day to say the least, but what I want to know is after Loudon, you said Ryan Newman was playing with you guys. Was he playing with you again here at Bristol?
You know, first I got to thank the crew, you know, UNOH, University of Northwestern Ohio, I mean, for putting their name on the car. We had a skip in the engine. We changed the engine, started last. I was in every single wreck, I think, that was out there, hitting everything. Spark plug wire fell off. We went a lap down. Thing was awesome. We got too tight. I definitely could have had something for him, you know, but it just got tear the wall down tight on the throttle off. So, you know, we'll come back next year, and maybe we'll beat him next year.
So close for Todd Szegedy.
Yeah, but I think he had the drive of the night, Dick. I mean, look at every wreck he had to dodge, every mechanical problem he had to endure. An hour to race time, there wasn't even an engine in the car. But his UNO, there's Phil Moran right over Todd's shoulder, the fellow in that dark shirt. He is the crew chief, and boy, he and his fellows, they deserve to be tired, but it's a good tired. Mike Smriglio, the car owner there, they got a good result out of it, 3rd place.
Never give up. That's the story of this auto racing stuff, particularly in the modified series.
A great run for Ryan Newman. The regulars did well. Bonsignor 2nd, Szegedy 3rd, Savali, and Emmerling. Frank Fleming was the highest finishing driver from the Whelen Southern Modified Tour today. Another great run for the mods at Thunder Valley. Bit of a wreck fest early, but we saw some really good racing.
We did. It's been a fun evening. Boy, a lot of wild stuff, as you can see.
All right, you'll see the mods again next on Speed at Loudon, New Hampshire in September. Stay tuned for the setup and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.